and welcome back to my channel. So today I am super pumped up because Maybelline has released a new palette. It is the Nudes of New York. And let me tell you something, I went to New York City for the first time last year. My husband and I went and I fell in love with the city. If you like fashion and if you like beauty, it's like where you need to be. I hate Times Square, hate it, because I feel like there's just way too many people, and if anything goes wrong, I feel like it's just gonna be a mess because there's so many people. So I avoid the Times Square part, but I love going around the city, going to different restaurants, fashion, makeup, everything. So here we are, the Nudes of New York City. Hopefully this palette is good so I can bring it with me when I go back to New York City this year. This is apparently inspired by the diversity of New York City. Custom design shades for a wide range of skin tones, and that is all it says. So basically, in my opinion, this is definitely a neutral palette. We have a lot of browns, there's some warm shades, there's golds, but to me, this is like my perfect palette just all together because these are the colors that I use the most. They're not the most adventurous, out there, loud colors. Definitely colors though that are wearable, that are great for a lot of people of all ages. They included some mattes, some shimmers, some sheens. I really don't know. We're just gonna create some sort of eye look. Everything on my face will be listed down below. I put on all my foundation to speed up the video, my eyebrows, everything else. So if you would like to see me create some sort of New York City inspired makeup look, please keep watching. Okay, first things first. Benefit Stay Don't Stray, my favorite eyeshadow primer. I actually tried the NARS one yesterday. It's really good actually. I like an eyeshadow primer though, like this Benefit one that kind of looks like a concealer. The NARS one goes on clear, but it does really hold the shadow on. I think if you have a more mature lid with a little bit of wrinkling happening or creasing, I would check out the NARS one just because it won't settle as much into the crease. But this definitely is my favorite eyeshadow primer for sure. So the next step is to set the eye. So I have two choices here. We have Soloist, which is more of a nude kind of shade, which is this guy here. Then we have Artist, which is more of a yellowy nude shade. I'm going with the less yellow shade, picking this guy up, tapping off the excess, which there is a lot. Just because the shadow is powdery doesn't really mean anything. It just means it makes a little bit of a mess, you know, wherever your beauty station might be. I find that some shadows that are really powdery on the lid though, they apply really nicely. So this is a good all over shadow base for me. It's pretty much the exact same color as my eyelid. I'm just using a Coastal Scents brush. There's no number on it. I have no idea what this is. I'm gonna pick up this Makeup Forever brush. Again, I have no idea what the hell this is. It's more of like a flat tapered kind of brush. I'm gonna try to use as many shades as possible in this palette just so we can test it out. But I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is called the Originator. This shade is not as powdery as that first matte shade we used. And I'm just gonna give a slight highlight underneath my eyebrow, which it's really actually beautiful. I'll go back in with my big brush again and just kind of work that highlight in so we don't have a harsh line. So it just looks like your brow is a little bit lifted, but it's a really beautiful shade. It's not too white. I hate a super white under the brow highlight. I look back at some of my videos that I used to do back in the day on YouTube here, and some of my under brow highlight, holy moly, I look like, somebody told me once I look like Frankenstein. You know what? At first I was offended, but I did look like Frankenstein. She had a point. She had a valid point. Okay, so next I'm going to pick up this Smashbox. This is the Shadow Blending Brush. I have a couple of options for the crease. There's actually a lot of options. You can do more of a neutral brown, more of a warm brown. We have a dark brown. We have a reddish brown. Holy, we just have options. We even have this like pukey kind of color, whatever that is. So I'm going to go in with my fluffy brush here, pick up the first shade, Creator. So first I'm going to start to work this all over, kind of, I'm keeping it in the crease but bringing it up pretty high. It's actually a really pretty color. With the first application of the shadow, it looked pretty sheer, but you can definitely build on it. Sometimes I'd rather have a shadow that you need to kind of build rather than just put it on and it's super pigmented and hard to blend out. Okay, so now I'm going in with more of a tapered kind of blending brush. This one's also from Coastal Scents. I'm gonna use another matte shade. Okay, let's go in with this guy. This is called Globe Trotter. So this is a matte kind of burgundy brown shade. So we're gonna go in with that. This fallout on this one is not as bad as the other two matte colors. I'm gonna work it into the socket of my crease. Oh, wow, this is really nice. Super pigmented, was not expecting it to be this pigmented. So I'm not taking it any higher than the crease of my eye. Just working it back and forth. Okay, so now I'm gonna try out this shade called Heroin. It's this kind of baby poo brown color, also matte. So I'm dipping into this on the same little Smashbox fluffy blending brush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go above the crease color. I'm just gonna start to mix all the shades together, basically, is what I'm doing. Going a little bit above, just making sure there's no harsh lines. And then because I kind of blended away that shade Globetrotter, I blended it a little bit away. I'm gonna go in with Voyager, which is pretty much the same kind of color. Has less red, a little bit more purple, it's a little bit darker. Going in with that color on my tapered brush again. And I'm gonna go back into the socket of my eye just to create a little bit more definition that we just kind of blended out. Next, I'm gonna go in with this dark brown shade called Self Starter. This guy here in the corner, I'm going in with the flat MAC 213 brush. And I'm just going to start to pat it just on the very outside of my eye. Let's go, I can drive too. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the same MAC brush I just used, take some of my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, give that a good spritz. I'm gonna test out this shade called Fighter, which is this coppery kind of shade. Going in with that. With my brush being wet, there's no fallout. Going in with my finger. I don't know if this is what it's gonna be, what I thought it would be. This shade to me is a little bit disappointing, just a little bit. I feel like it's not applying as vibrant as it is in the pan on my eye. I'm gonna go over top of that because it's just not what I feel like it should be, with this gold shade called Inspirer. I definitely think the gold is a little bit more impactful than this Fighter copper shade, but I do feel like with these shades it's better to use them with your fingers. To really make the inner corner of my eye pop, I'm gonna wet my little Quo. This is a lip brush with the Urban Decay All Nighter spray again. We're going to pick up this one called Dreamer. This is a really nice pinky kind of champagne shade. So we're gonna go with that. Ooh, I really like this shade. This is really nice. This has like a really nice pink undertone to it. Also gonna take this shade, push it in the inner corner of my eye. Okay, so for underneath the lash line, I'm gonna go in with this shade here called Explorer. We haven't used this one yet, so we're gonna go in with that. I like using this brush a lot for underneath my eye. It's a precision blending brush from Eco Tools. It's really, really nice. So I'm gonna pop this shadow right under the lower lash line. Also picking up some of this dark brown color again in the corner here called Self Starter. Keeping the same brush, but I'm gonna just keep this shade on the very, very outside of my eye, almost connecting it from the top. Okay, so for my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Lise Watier. This is the Brun Noir waterproof eyeliner. So first I'm going to run it along my lower lash line. I also use this on the very upper lash line very, very quickly, kind of messy. Great thing is when you pick an eyeliner that matches your eyeshadow, you don't have to be super precise with applying eyeliner. So that's a little tip for you if you're not great at doing a solid line. Try matching your eyeliner to your eyeshadow color because then you don't have to be so precise. I'm going to take a MAC Little Fine Precision Detailing Brush. It's the 211 one. Going back in with this dark color, Self Starter. You can just go along the lash line, press some eyeshadow, and this will just help fill in any gaps. It will help smooth everything out. Just make everything look super blended. Okay, so my camera shut down, had to cool off. While it cooled off, I thought I'd make myself useful. So what I did is I applied, here we go. I applied this mascara here. This is the Stila Magnum mascara. Fun fact, I actually hated this mascara when I first tried it, like Hated it. It was a clumpy mess. I think I tried it once and I put it away and never touched it again. But recently I've been really liking it. I don't know if I had to get some air into the tube to kind of dry out the formula a bit. It's really nice when you wiggle it through your lash. It gives it instant volume, pretty good separation, full lashes. So I've been actually really enjoying this. And then I went in the bottom lash with this skinny Annabelle mascara, which is my favorite for the bottom. And then I also applied a pair of the Pageboy Kiss lashes. So that's how I finished off this look. And there we have it. Okay, so my final verdict is this palette is definitely worth your money. It is a little bit expensive. I think in Canada, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I paid around $22 for it, which is definitely pricey for a drugstore palette, but I do find that all drugstore palettes lately are just kind of blowing up in Canada. Don't come after me. People in the States come after me all the time and go, I bought this for $10.99. I'm from Canada. In Canada, this is very expensive. Anyways, long story short, I really do like this palette. I think it's great. For the most part, I did try to use as many shades as possible. I left out using 5 shades. I would like to create another look using this palette. Maybe on camera I will do so. I have a whole bunch of new makeup. I was thinking about doing new at the drugstore kind of full face tutorial. Might use this again. Maybe, maybe not. But overall, I do think it's a really great palette. I do think it's worth your money. The matte shades are a little bit powdery, but they do apply very nice. They blend out really great. They are pigmented. So yes, powdery in the pan, but nice on the eye. The shimmer shades are good. I didn't love this copper shade. I found it didn't really give me that punch, the pizzazz that I wanted. Although I do think if I applied some sort of glitter glue or if I applied my Benefit Stay Don't Stray first and then patted on this color, I think it would be more pigmented. So it is what it is. But the rest of the shimmer shades I used, I really liked. I absolutely love this color called Dreamer up here in the top. It's beautiful. It's kind of like a pink champagne color. But I really, really love this palette. I can see myself reaching for this a lot to create any sort of eye. They give you a great mix of mattes and then some shimmers. I think this is great for all skin tones. I think it is great for all ages. I think you can create some beautiful looks with this. Like the packaging, obviously I wish they did include a mirror, but if they're gonna jack up the price even more, then leave your mirror out. I'll use something else. But overall, I think it's a great eyeshadow palette from Maybelline. Nudes of New York City. I'll be bringing you with me to the Big Apple. Okay, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.